I'm Tyler.
I'm Shorty.
I'm Ava.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kara.
Yo, this is Reno.
Hello, I'm Brandy.
They call me Pride Slayer.
I'm Bon Manuel.
And we are the Inner Idiot.
Podcast you're about to listen to has crude language, violence, and other things you probably shouldn't let your children listen to. Please enjoy.
Drop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing. We got it right on the first try, people. It ain't wet from sweating. We ain't done yet.
Now, if we could end it on first try, dude, we're really hitting it today.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't look at me like I got 3 peckers that time. Again, that's how I would look at somebody with 3 PPs. No, not. Welcome to Inner Idiot Podcast, where we talk about having 3 penises, apparently.
Tyler wanted to suck him.
No, just the tip.
I feel like that's even worse.
I mean, think about this, dude. You could be like,
each one?
You'd be like, hey, I'm not gay, but I sucked a person's dick once, and he had 3 dicks. Like, dude, that would be a cool story. You know what I'm saying?
One of them?
Well, no, if you did all 3, you'd be like, yeah, I've only sucked one person's dick, but I've had 3 dicks in my mouth. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? They'd be like, tell me more. How is that possible?
Or they just call you a homo and run.
I'm not gay. I didn't get off from it. He's the gay one for letting me do it. Don't you see? You see how this goes? Look, people are really gonna think I'm gay one of these days. And you know what? I don't care. Think what you want to think. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? Anyways, I am your host, the big, the bald, the beautiful, the brash, the bumbling, and the oftentimes bastardly MC Tyler Havlin. And I talk slow and I walk slower. You think it picked up them clicks?
Maybe.
It did that time.
No.
2 claps and Ric Flair for me since Shorty's eating a cookie.
I was getting ready to say it, but 2 claps and Ric Flair for MC Tyler Havlin.
Woo! And it's back.
She's here.
All right, next up, he is the Lord that's never bored. He didn't do it all for the nookie. He did it all for the cookie today, people. He ain't got a shirt on, and that's just for you, ladies. He's been patting kitty and grabbing titty since 1991.
Look at that, he knows.
I do know. I've known for a long time. And I know when your actual birthday is. I know when both your birthdays are.
What?
I know when both your birthdays are.
I have 2?
Yes. July 10th and July 25th.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
I vaguely remember why. Yeah. 25th doesn't have anything going on.
How many of your homies know when your actual birthdays are?
I have no idea.
I do. I know. This is how much value I bring to you. 2
I
claps
know of at least one
of your birthdays.
other person that knows my birthday.
Well, that person should be cherished.
Oh. I mean, he is.
Both of the people that know your birthdays should be cherished. 2 claps and Ric Flair for Lord Shorty Fresh in the flesh. Woo! That was the longest intro ever. The longest.
Wow. It was pretty long.
You're just going to crunch on these fucking cookies the whole time, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, so before we get into, we discovered last episode that you all think I need therapy.
Not think.
But before that, a good friend of the show posted something on Facebook. I think it was yesterday. It said, tell me about a time you almost died. No, we're not streaming on Twitch right now, TJ, but we have streamed on Twitch. In case you're wondering why I answered that random question, we are live on Facebook as well. For those of you that don't know, just follow me on Facebook at Tyler Havlin with the nifty blue check mark, and then you can see our lives in the first segment before they release every Thursday. But anyways, so she had posted, tell me about a time you almost died. Mm-hmm. Something like that. So do you have any stories about a time that you almost died?
I can think of 3 times.
All right. Do you feel like divulging any of them?
Sure, I can.
Let's hear it.
I was 14 and I fell 40-ish feet.
Holy fuck.
Out of a tree and broke 2 ribs on the way down.
On the way down? Not like when you hit?
Mm-hmm. On the way down.
You hit the branches of the ugly tree?
And I probably.
No, I'm just kidding. You're adorable, man.
And I landed flat on my back and knocked the wind out of me, and I couldn't move for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's scary shit.
And I
dude.
stayed conscious the entire time.
Damn, did it like this is gonna sound like a stupid question.
No, go ahead, ask.
But did it hurt?
Oh yeah, incredibly so.
Because a lot of times when you like go through that much trauma that quickly, you just kind of go into shock and don't feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I visibly remember the sensation of my ribs breaking, and I remember the sensation of hitting the ground.
Chew. Which one was worse?
The ribs breaking. You know what was even worse than that?
Getting the wind knocked out of you?
No,
What?
the ribs breaking a second time.
Oh, like the same ribs or like?
I had to get them re-broken because I didn't tell my mom because I was I was somewhere I was not supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't say where I was at and what I was doing. It was the only time I wore a shirt consistently for 2 weeks during the summertime because I had significant amount of bruising all over my chest and my chest and back.
So at this point, like you couldn't even alive at that point without pain. Like it just hurt to breathe.
Yes, it hurt to do everything.
Imagine if you were sexually active at that time.
Oh my God, I'd be dead.
Dead, because you know it's worth the juice is worth the squeeze,
Word.
bro. And broken ribs or not, like I'm still Pound Town, USA.
But from that point on, like after I was healed until I was about 18, almost 19, every time I was super active, I would have a terrible time breathing. And like the right side would hurt real bad. And I couldn't figure out why. So finally, like I had my own health insurance. I didn't anticipate like needing my parents or anything. But I went to the hospital and I said, hey, I'm having severe pains or whatever. Like it feels like something's pressing down on my lung. So doctor's like feeling me up or whatever. And he said,
He's feeling you up?
Yes.
What's the name of this doctor? Just for research purposes.
No, I don't remember.
I need to go feel up.
I bet. But anyway, as he's feeling around or whatever, he asks me, he goes, have you ever broken your ribs? I said, I don't know. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'm not sure. And he says, how are you not sure you broke your ribs? He goes, trust me, you would know. And I was like, well, the only time I can think of is I fell out of a tree, hit every branch on the way down. And, you know, I said, I didn't go to the hospital or anything. So that's what happened. And he's like, all right, well, I'm going to send you.
No, you're good. Keep going. I was pointing at somebody in the chat.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to send you to the hospital to get some x-rays. Okay, cool. So we go to the x-rays. Sure enough, I broke 2 ribs. And they healed. Like most of the time your ribs are in like a pretty, good line.
Uh-huh.
The bottom 2 were broke inward and they healed like pressing up against my lung. So the doctor's like, hey, we're going to have to re-break these and set them. I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, we're going to numb you up, but I have bad news. I was like, what's the bad news? He said, we can't numb bone.
Yeah, right?
I said, okay.
But do you really feel bone? Or do you just feel what the bones do to you?
You feel it. You feel every bit of it.
Okay. I mean, I feel my bone
And the
when I got a boner.
The problem is like, I was expecting it, which made it all the worse.
Right. Anticipation.
Yeah.
Sucks. Or it's a magical thing, depending.
Yeah. He was like, here it goes. You ready? And I was like, no. And he's like, mean it? He said, you're right. Click. Crack. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
So that's one time I almost died. The second time I almost died, I got hit by a car.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
I was on my way home.
Who was driving the car?
I don't know.
What a motherfucker. Had the audacity to hit you with a car and they didn't even stop and say hi?
Yeah, no doubt.
What a bitch. But you know what? Before you continue, let me say hi to Kenny Pitcher. He doesn't join the chat very often. What's up, my guy? How you doing today? I said it again. That's twice this episode. All right.
And I die a little inside every time. Look at that.
At least I didn't hit you with a car.
Yeah. But I was on my way home from work on when I was working at CVS Pharmacy down on Turkey Foot there. And it was like 9:45 at night.
What time of year?
Fall.
Oh, so it was dark.
Yeah, it was dark.
Okay.
But I'm walking home and I don't see anything coming at me. Nothing. No big deal. I see headlights coming up behind me. Don't think nothing of it. This is before they finished Turkey Foot all the way. So there's no sidewalks yet. So I'm walking on the
median.
Yeah, the section of the road that's, safe. And next thing I know, I'm up staring at the sky. And then I wake up and sometime later, laying on the side of the road.
So they just kept going.
Yeah, nobody stopped, nothing. And I landed on the side of the road, thank God. Got up, walked my happy ass home. Mom's freaking out like, hey, you're 2.5 hours later than you said you were going to be.
I got hit by a fucking car.
And I was like, well, I didn't know what happened. I was like, Mom, I said, I don't know, but my leg really hurts. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I don't know. And now I have 2 kneecaps on one knee.
Got 2 kneecaps, bro?
It shattered my kneecap.
So they put a new one on there?
Pretty much, yeah.
And they left the old one there?
Well, no, the way, like, your kneecap is all cartilage. So basically what it did is it normally looks like this.
Uh-huh.
Mine looks like this.
Okay.
So it's fucked up.
All right. Well, let me tell you about this one time I almost died, dude.
Sure, let me hear it.
Crazy story. So it was like, it was a rainy night. Like, it was raining like a motherfucker, bro. Mm-hmm. And me and the girl I was dating at the time, we were going to the movies. And she asked me, like, hey, can my sister and her boyfriend come? And me and this girl had been dating for a couple months. I was like, yeah, the more the merrier. You know me. I like people sometimes.
Yeah, you like company.
Yeah. So we get to the movies, and she waits outside for her sister and the boyfriend. And I go inside, I get the tickets, and I come back outside. So the sister's not there yet. We're waiting together. Mm-hmm. And this girl is walking up, like, right towards us. And it was the girl I had slept with, like, right before this girl. And I was like, I ghosted her. It was a douchebag move, I know. But, I was young. Shit happens. Mm-hmm. How old was I? I think I was like 24, 25.
Okay.
I say to my girlfriend, like, hey, like,
I ghosted this bitch for you.
I used to talk to this girl, kind of hide me. And she's like, that girl? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay. So this girl's making a beeline right for us.
Yeah, she done saw you, dog. Hide you nothing.
Yeah. So they walk up, and the girl that I used to sleep with and the girl I'm currently sleep with hug. And it turns out that was her sister.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so I thought I was going to die that night.
That was not the death I was expecting.
I mean, it could have been the death, especially since, like, I basically said, hide me from this girl. I mean, needless to say, me and the girl that weren't dating the next day.
That's hilarious.
But I did end up hooking up with the sister again later in the future. Mm. But I let the girl know this time around, like, hey, this is a one and done thing.
Hell, yeah. Word.
But
good on you, Ty, for doing that way.
I completed the set. I think that's the only set that I ever completed.
I got a set.
Do you?
2 sisters and a mom.
And a mom? That's amazing. Amazing.
Is that a series? That's not a set. Yeah, I guess it would be still a set.
Well, you hit the fucking trilogy, bro.
Word? I love it.
Like, the whole fucking timeline, all you had left was the grandma.
No.
Why not?
No.
Look, if the mom's doable, then the grandma's at least on the edge doable.
No.
All right. Well, speaking of compromising situations, all right, we're gonna dive into why you guys apparently think I need therapy. Did your dad? So my dad is he's a unique individual. Okay.
Sure.
Like, I never see him get excited. The only time he shows excitement is with anger. But like he's when he wants something to happen, like, like if it's something like I would be excited about, he'll ask a lot of questions. That's how he shows excitement. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But he stays very level.
Yeah.
Right? Unless it's time for, like, beat my ass. And then it's like, you motherfucker, come here. But anyways, so with this in mind, has your father ever put you in compromising situations, or your parents in general? Because my mom put me in quite a few too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's hear about one.
One time, me and my dad and my brother were...
How old were you?
like fucking 12, I
Okay,
think. I don't
okay.
know. I'd have to ask my brother can retell this story better than I can. We were at my brother's brother-in-law's farm, and we were assisting him in cutting down a tree. And basically all I'm there for is to grab the wood and move it off to a certain pile. That is my job. So my dad and my brother are assisting in cutting this tree down. Well, I decide that
I know this story.
I want to stand in this spot because it's safer. Dad is insistent that I come over and stand with him. I said, Dad, I don't like that spot. I like this spot. He said, no, you stay here by me. I said, okay, I'm only, 11 or 12. And so I go stand by Dad. And then Dad walks away, and this is the part I think now, like, if it was so safe, why the fuck did you walk away? You know what I mean? So he proceeds, my brother is running the chainsaw. He proceeds to cut it. And as I'm standing there watching my brother, my dad, my dad is now 15 feet away from me, chopping this tree down. All of a sudden I get thunked on the head from a falling branch that was big apparently and damn near fucking knocked me out.
All right, so what I gather from this story is you need to avoid trees at all costs.
No, I love climbing trees.
Climbing trees, trees falling on you. Yeah. Hell, you probably didn't even get hit by a car. It was probably a fucking tree coming down the road, bro.
Hell yeah.
All right, let me tell you about some of the shit my dad used to do.
Word.
All right. So when I was 7, it was like right at the start of like me learning martial arts. I was going to Karate Fitness USA.
Ooh.
With Sensei Bob. He had taught movie stars. Okay? Yeah. You remember Surf Ninjas? I mean, he didn't really teach the guy, but he knew the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So for me, it was like, hey,
he taught that motherfucker.
Yeah. So and I was very good at martial arts, karate, everything I did, taekwondo, like all of it. I was really good at it. So fast forward a little bit, I'd been in it for about a year. And me, my dad, his friend Ray, and Ray's son Eddie, who was a year younger than me, were all at this place called Pleasure Isle. And Pleasure Isle is this awesome big pool. So like if you're familiar with Cincinnati, you know about Coney Island and how it's supposed to be like the world's biggest circulated pool. Well, Pleasure Isle was bigger than Coney Island. But this was during the fall, so the pool was mostly drained. But you know how when a pool mostly drained, there's still that fucking nasty ass water in it. But we're there for a turkey shoot.
Yeah.
Right? You know what a turkey shoot is?
Yeah.
I'm a little guy at this point. My dad's like, you know what? You're going to shoot this. Hands me a shotgun. I'm a little scared at this point because, they're loud. I'm like, what do I do? He's like, brace. He's like, just pucker up your butt and squeeze the trigger.
Word.
It's like, okay. So I shoot this motherfucker and it knocks me on my ass. I got a big bruise on my shoulder the next day. But anyways, that's not the most compromising part. First of all, you don't hand a 7-year-old a shotgun that's never shot before, had any kind of instruction, and be like, here, shoot at that.
I feel like there's a lot of Kentuckians who would disagree with you.
Probably. But, so anyways, afterwards, we're all there. And his buddy Ray is fucking with me because my dad's friends always fucked with me. You know what I'm saying?
As they should.
And I made the fucking dumb comment, something along the lines of, I know karate, you better not mess with me.
Word.
And this is probably where I fucked up. He started laughing. And like I started jumping around, doing moves and shit. And now Pleasure Isle, like I said, it's a very big pool. But like if you go out a few feet into the shallow end, there's these concrete islands.
Yeah.
And now it's probably a good 10 foot before this concrete island between dry, nasty water and then concrete island. So my dad says, I bet you $20 of his money pointed at me, my money. I didn't have no fucking money.
Yeah.
That my son can jump from here onto that concrete island. I knew I couldn't do it. I knew damn well I was being set up.
Yeah.
I'm going to end up in the fucking water. It's November, goddammit. The water's brown and black and nasty and sludgy and it's cold out. But yeah, I ain't going back down. I just shot a shotgun. Like, my balls probably just dropped. You feel me? Like, I'm starting puberty right now. Fuck it. Maybe I can make this jump. And Ray just kind of chuckles. He's like, okay. And then I look at my dad and I'm starting to like, the adrenaline of it's starting to wear off a little bit. Like, Dad, I can't.
You're starting to feel like you got big balls.
I'm like, Dad, I don't think I can make that. He's like, yeah, you can. Just do it. So I attempt this jump. And I end up face first in the goddamn water.
Hell yeah. That's good shit.
Freezing weather. And I'm face down in nasty fucking piss water. Bro. My dad knew what he was doing. He was knocking me down a few pegs.
Yeah, get your fucking ego out, bro.
He said, yeah, I guess you owe Ray $20. Like, God damn it, Dad. Where am I going to get $20? You're going to have to work it off, son.
That's hilarious. I love it.
Now, granted, at this age, this is the same man. And, dude, I love my dad. I do. Mm-hmm. You know, he's a big part of the reason I am the fucking degenerate I am today. When me and my brother were younger, he would, and I've told this story before, he would give us bricks of firecrackers, right?
Yes.
And bricks of bottle rockets on 4th of July and, like, you know, the time surrounding 4th of July. I'm a 7-year-old kid at this point. My brother, he's like a 9-year-old kid, 10, something like that. It's 2-3 years difference. And, well, no, you can't have a lighter. A lighter's dangerous. So he would take out his pack of cigarettes, light up a motherfucking cool, and hand me and my brother, both of us, a lit cigarette. So here you go. Go light off the firecrackers. Now, I've told this story before. He handed me a lit cigarette. I never hit that motherfucker. Never once. But looking back, I bet my brother did. But dude, who lights cigarettes and hands them to their kids? Like, here, go blow shit up. Doesn't happen.
I mean, you don't. I would.
I went and blew shit up, bro. Oh, we blew shit up all the time. All the motherfucking time. Another time, these fucking kids these days, look, dude, my dad put me to work at 11 years old. 11 years old, I was on construction sites. So there was this one time, we're setting form for some stairs, right? And he says, hold this board for me while I cut it with his rusty fucking saw. So I'm holding this board, right? And he's sawing away. My dad's been doing this forever. You know, he's a motherfucking legend at this shit. Well, the saw slips, and it takes off half my thumb long ways. So, like, the flap is just hanging.
Damn.
And he looks at me, and he looks at the saw. First words out of his mouth, son, don't tell your mother. I go, okay, but I didn't go, my thumb, it's falling off, Dad. He's like, we'll rub some dirt on it. You know, it'll be fine. So picked up some dirt, rubbed some dirt on it, wrapped duct tape around that motherfucker.
If you had sons, would you treat them as tough as your dad treated you?
Probably. Probably.
That's not okay, Ty.
I loved my dad. I've always loved my dad.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, maybe not as tough. Like, if I accidentally cut off half of one of my son's thumbs, like, I'd probably take that motherfucker to the hospital, right?
Yeah, you're not going to say rub some dirt on it.
I mean, I still say don't tell your mom.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
But I would show some visible worriedness.
Concern, yes.
Yes, whereas he was just like, you'll be okay, dude.
Now, see, one thing I did hear my dad say to me was, we're going to have the doctor rub some dirt on it.
Oh, no, my dad literally said rub some dirt on it, then he rubbed dirt on it.
No, my dad joked about it. We had, when I was like 6 or 7, we were over somebody's house. I think it was one of my brother, we were over my brother's house, and his roommate had a dog, and the dog came out, was running around or whatever. I was playing with it. Well, then I stopped and was standing next to my dad. The dog came up behind me, in between my legs, forced me back, and I cracked my head open. And, like, I was fine. I was like, all right, no big deal. Cool beans. Like, oops, had a tumble. And I'm fine. My dad and my brother are like really impressed on how well I'm reacting because I slammed my head on concrete. Well, then I feel something wet running down my neck, and I pat the back of my head or whatever, and it's just fucking blood-soaked red. I was like,
Uh-oh, that's not good.
yeah, and that's when I began to panic, like that exact moment. And I remember my dad being in the car with me. He's like, don't worry, the doctor's going to rub the dirt in it. And I was like, okay. I remember that bit. But yeah.
All right, one more story, then we're going to go to break.
Okay.
So, and looking back, I realized my dad was just trying to knock me down some pegs with these. Okay, so we're going to,
He's still alive?
yeah.
He needs to be around more often.
Yeah. My dad is not the type to call his kids or go see his kids. My dad says, when I was a kid, when I was an adult, my dad didn't come see me. I had to go see him. I had to call him. Y'all want to see me? You come see me. That's
Do you
him.
make time for your dad?
Yeah, when I can.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I tend to get left out of the invites, but it's because I work every other weekend.
Yeah.
And that's when he does things. So it's like, your brother's probably working, but if he's not, tell him to come over because he coordinates everything through my sister.
That's fair. That's
But,
how often I get treated.
But so I think I was like, this was before the thumb cutting. I think I was like 9 or 10. Yeah, I was 9 or 10 because it was right before I started dating this guy's daughter. We went to his buddy Willie Swilly the midget, his house, and he lived on this big farm, right? When you get there, you have to open one of them big farm gates. You have to drive up this hill, on a fucking dirt road through the cows and shit. And I was like, Dad, I bet I can run and beat you there. And now, distance as a kid is different than reality distance.
Yeah.
So I think I can run up this fucking hill, outrun the car that I know is going to have to drive slow. And it turns out it's like more than half a mile up a goddamn hill, bumpy hill, with fucking horses and bulls and shit. Other wildlife, probably snakes in the motherfucking grass and shit. I bet I could beat you up there, Dad. Okay. So I get out of the car, and my mom's like, son, get back in the car. I'm like, no, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And my dad's just like, let him do it. So he goes slow, probably slower than what he needed to, and I'm running up this hill. I'm chugging, right? And then just the distance just grows and grows and grows.
Yeah.
Until I can't see the fucking car no more. I can no longer I'm pretty sure at this point my heartbeat is like my heart's about to explode. I don't have lungs anymore. They're shot. My legs are fucking jello. Finally, I make it to the trailer on the farm. And I knock on the door, and you just hear the fucking Swilly the midget just laughing. And open the door. He's like, you all right, son? I can't breathe. I can't talk. Dad's like, we won. Bet you don't do that again, do you? Nope. I think maybe that's where my hatred from running started.
Probably. And ever since then, you put on a pound.
Yeah. Golly, dude, he was a savage. He is a savage. Both my parents are fucking savages. Just he's nice as shit now that he's circling the toilet bowl. Nice as shit.
So my dad did that. Like my dad was hardcore motherfucker. Like he was what is it? Sympathetic and like, he had a really good like I don't know. He wasn't a hard ass all the time, but he was known for being a hard ass. Dude, that motherfucker turned 60 and it was a light switch. He was like super nice and shit like that. And everyone's like, my friends were like, your dad is so different. I was like, no shit. Like,
it's because he doesn't have to raise you anymore.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like once I turned 18 and I moved out, I got way worse. Like I was such a good kid, And then I turned 18 and moved out. I was like, guess what? I did all this shit. And Dad's like, Mom and Dad, they were funny. They were like, well, why didn't you tell us any of that? I'm like, why would I tell you something that I know you guys disapprove of just so I can get grounded? My dad sent me to my room one time and I left and went home. And he calls me. He's like, where are you at? I said, I'm on my way home. He's like, get your ass back here. Of course, he didn't say ass, but he's like, get back here. I was like, what do you mean? My room is in the apartment. He was like, come back. Oh, okay.
Nice. All right, before we go to break, hello, Rosemarie. We love you too.
Way to be late.
Way to be late. We're going to take a little break, a little pause for the calls to pay the light bills. And we're back. And speaking of compromising situations, this still fits in, right?
I suppose.
Yeah, and somebody else putting themselves in compromising situations because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about,
Yeah,
apparently.
they're dumb.
They're dumb.
So, as you know, but I will reiterate to all of our listeners, one of my favorite pastimes is using Bible verses to piss off Christians. Mm-hmm. Like, it is the highlight of my day, of whatever day it is. I find more joy. I could probably do that and never have sex again. It would be almost the same satisfaction.
That's a heavy cross to bear.
You know what? Jesus did it, so will I. And I tell you, dude, like, because it's fun and it does nothing but, like, really upset them. And they're all upset because they're all stupid. Like, it's their fault. Like, you're choosing to acknowledge this book as your fucking, like, it's your bread and butter. Okay, cool. But God says not to do this. Well, my God doesn't say that. Well, does your God use this book? Yeah. Do you believe in this book? Yeah. Well, then he says no.
He says no.
Well, no, that's not what it says. You're taking it out of context. Then I proceed to post the entirety of that passage. I was like, there you go. I'm not taking it out of context.
You're just adding context, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm putting in there. And then they proceed to take it out of context. So I'm like, well, hold on a second. Like, when you nitpick and pull, like, you can make anything sound like how you want. And that leads to me to the other day. Because normally this is reserved only for Christians because it's what I know best. So I got put in a situation where this female and I were sitting around talking. And not sitting around, you know, we had been messaging back and forth for a little while now. And
now hold on. Was it already a no-go before this, or was this the nail in the coffin?
We had established that it was more than likely not going to work out.
Okay.
That if her situation were to change, it could happen, but as it stood currently, there's a no dice. But this was the nail in the coffin. Because what happened is this chick is a used to be Christian, now Satanist. And she posted something on Facebook and somebody commented on it. I'm praying for you. That's it. No big deal. Who gives a fly?
They didn't even say which deity they were praying to, right?
No,
they just said, I'll pray
it could have been anybody.
It could have been your deity, for fuck's sake.
But then she responds with very poor and rude comments saying how she will worship her Lord, you know, and this, that, and the other. So I stopped her and I was like, hey, wait a second. And I see the post and I asked her, I was like, hey, so, and I didn't do it in a public forum, which is usually what I'm doing. I'm usually doing it in the comments, fresh on Facebook. That way everybody and their brother get to see people get fucking roasted.
Can next time you do that, can you tag me? Because I would like to watch it.
Yeah, I can do that. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it's because a lot of people have blocked me,
okay.
Which kind of sucks because there goes my afternoon entertainment. But so anyway, I text her and I said, hey, what's this all about? And she says, what do you mean? I was like, well, you know, I'm confused. Like, you know, you said you were a Satanist, not a Satan worshiper. Like, there is a distinct difference.
All right, explain that for me, because
So, if you look up the Satanic Black Book or the what is it? The satanic, hold on. I have it pulled up. The traditional Satanist, or also known as, I had it Googled here, the satanic narratives. That's
okay.
Those are basically the satanic Bibles, and the satanic narratives is basically like a abridged version, really tightened down. Like, hey, these are our core beliefs and fundamentals. Basically, like, it's an elongated 10 Commandments. But inside that, there are 7 tenets. And it's basically, I can sum up the entire satanic black book for you right here, right now with one sentence.
Okay.
Don't be a fucking dick.
And that's weird because a lot of people wouldn't think that.
Sure.
Like, a lot of people think a Satan worshiper is going to be this asshole, wants to see the world burn, this and that.
That is what I call bad Satanists.
Probably punches
And
kittens.
there's...
Would you punch a kitten?
Give me a reason.
You punch a kitten?
Yeah.
Why, bro? It's a kitten.
What if I'm hungry and it supplies me food?
Dude, we're in America. You got a refrigerator full of food. You got chicken.
So
Fuck, you need the kitten for?
this is where people think I need therapy, talking about how I don't attach value to most animals' lives, if any.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that it is a cat, if it's your cat, dope, man. I'm not gonna go out of my way to hurt an animal. I've never done that.
But you value human life over animal life.
Oh, 100%.
I'm the same way.
I can give a fuck less.
I'm not gonna
But
punch a kitten.
Looking at a cat, dog, cow, or whatever, all that tells me is, one, it's acceptable to eat depending on the level of power we have currently.
Okay.
So the moment we lose power, okay, we just ran out, we're still eating cows and shit. The more dystopian we get, we're aiming for dogs and cats. It's only a matter of time. The last animal we're going to eat is horses, because we're going to use the fuck out of them bitches.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the main topic.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a fucking dick. That is the entirety of the Satanic Bible. But I go through and I read all the comments between her and now Christians. And believe it or not, I am on the Christian side, where normally this is where I would deter myself, because I'm, I would claim to be a Christian because that's where my faith lies and all this other stupid shit. And I'm sitting there reading all the comments and I'm like, wow, you're being a cunt. So then I start looking for holes in her shit. And this leads me to the point to which I had to look up a PDF of the Satanic Bible, start Control F, and find everything that I need to argue with this woman, because I've never read
Start Control F.
Start Control F. Control F specifically is search.
Oh, okay.
The search command. So I am now reading everything on what the fuck she's saying and whatever, how to properly worship or whatever. So it's nothing in the Satanic Black Book. There's nothing in it. Now, there is the Satanic Bible recognizing the Black Pope, which is just this fucking person who claims to be somebody who talks to Lucifer, actual Lucifer. So I'm like, okay, this bitch is nuts. So I asked her, I was like, hey, are you an actual Satanist, or are you, I forget the name or what they refer to themselves, but are you a Lucifer worshiper? She says, oh no, I'm not one of those. Oh, so you're just a Satanist? She says, yes. I said, okay, then why are you talking to these people the way you are? She goes, well, it's a lot of, do unto others as you would do unto them. I was like, yeah, but there's nothing in there about retaliation. She goes, sure there is. I'm like, no, there isn't. I'm like, they are not causing you physical harm. They are not harming people you love. Therefore, they get nothing. Why are you talking to them with such disrespect? She's like, because that's what I was, that's what I'm supposed to do. Supposed to do? What are you talking about?
Don't die.
No. And
Kittens will have a field day if you die.
I hope so, God. But this goes on for a minute about how, like, oh, well, my Bible says this, that, and the other. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, what's your Bible? She goes, duh, the Satanic Bible. I'm like, dope. Like God or Christians, which one? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, there's more than one, bitch. Like, there's like 5. She goes, what do you mean there's 5? I'm like, because different people have different interpretations of the Satanic Bible. I'm like, you have the Satanic Bible, which has nothing to do with actual Satan or Lucifer. You have the Black Pope or the Black Book, which is about Lucifer. You have the Satanic Narrative, which is basically the Satanic Bible, the first one, very short and condensed. And then you have another one that, like, really blows shit out of proportion. It's fucking wild. Excuse me. I'll be coughing for a second.
You suck at life?
Huh?
Go down the wrong tube?
Fuck yeah.
Your eyes are watering.
Yeah, I feel it. But, so this goes on for a minute, and the whole time I'm just dogging this bitch. And finally we get to the understanding where she was hurt because of Christians and rejected because of Christians. But instead of addressing it internally and going to a goddamn therapist and realizing that, hey, people are fucked, not God or whatever, she does what every fucking stupid person does and goes to a completely different religion. Like, oh, well, Christianity was bad, so obviously the opposite is good, which is not the case. Because the Lucifer Bible, the Lucifer worshiping Bible, is, I would consider, very toxic behavior. Like, from what I've read of it, I've not read the whole thing yet. I'm not done. But yeah, it has very toxic, bad behavior. So now I am actively searching to argue with this woman. Like, hey, this is what it says. This is what it is. And I even pulled up shit out of the Lucifer Bible. Like, hey, this is what's going on. I don't understand why you're being this like this or whatever. Because what kills me is a lot of Satanists, Lucifer worshiping Satanists. Satanists.
Are these the kitten punchers or the non-kitten punchers?
They're probably not kitten punchers. None of them are kitten punchers. I'm a kitten puncher. But a lot of them choose not to believe in God, which is dumb as fuck. Because you can't have Lucifer without God. Like, it says so in the actual Bible and theirs. Because God created the heavens and the earth. He created all the angels. But Lucifer stood up for some of the angels and was like, hey, bro, we want free will too. And he's like, get bent, get out of my paradise. And they're like, oh, fuck, we're out.
He said, we're out. Howdy 3000.
No, he didn't choose that. He got kicked. You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's what kills me. She disbelieves in God because she's dumb. And that, like...
That's because he loved God more than he loved people, right? I'm ignorant to this, so...
I don't recall. I can't recall of a reason because, like I said, I haven't read the whole book. I've read a lot of passages from it. I need to sit down.
We are not a religious show, by the way.
No,
this
we're
is
not.
just discussion because it was funny and it came up.
Yeah, at least funny to me. I don't care if you all are entertained. But
I got a magic trick coming up, so don't worry.
I don't know if necessarily it mentions it in either one or the Bible that says Lucifer's real. Whether or not he loved, but I know basically he was jealous. And that sparked his downfall because he came and he was like, hey, like, I want free will as well. I want to do this, which obviously even having that thought, he has free will. He has the ability to, like, choose his own path. And then when God told him, he's like, no, you have the free will. And they basically get into an argument and all this other stupid shit. And Lucifer gets kicked out of heaven, and that's, he's doomed to, rule hell or whatever. Which the hell as we know it is romanticized and created by Dante in Dante's Inferno. So, like, there's very in the Christian Bible, there's limited of what hell actually is. There's not a lot on it. Like, it does use the word burn, I think, but that's like it. Matter of fact, I don't even think it says burn. I think it says suffer. That is all. Like, it doesn't mention anything about fire, doesn't mention anything about, like, whatever. There's no 7 layers of hell or nothing like that. That's all romanticized bullshit.
There are 7-layer burritos, though, and they're delicious.
Yeah.
You think they have those in heaven?
Probably.
Okay.
But no,
Oh,
there's...
man, a burrito sounds really good right now.
I could eat. Where was I at?
7 layers of hell.
Yeah, no. So, like, none of that's legit. And the Satanic Bible that deals with Lucifer, like, adds on to that shit. So, like, it's already full of nonsense. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of it's dumb shit. But then they really, like, blow up this whole thing about, oh, hey, you know, this is the way hell's going to be, blah, 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 blah. Like, you're taking what is known as fiction, which is Dante's Inferno, and you're pushing it as nonfiction. Like, get the fuck out of here, you stupid piece of shit.
Get bent.
Yeah. But no, it was a good discussion and shit like that. And all I did was piss her off because I'm like using her, like, again, like, it's the whole thing I love doing. It's pissing her off
With her own beliefs.
with her own beliefs because she's being a dick. And like, I like Satanists, dude. I've gotten along with a great deal, a number of them. And they're like,
Everyone I know is decent people.
chill as fuck, dude.
Chill as a motherfucker.
Because they live by the first fucking tenet.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a fucking dick. It's amazing.
Have you heard from this person again?
No.
Good on you. Good on you. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. When they stop talking to me and block me, dude, I know I have succeeded. It's good shit.
Well, I want to close the show out with a magic trick.
Okay.
Okay. And it's I saw this the other day, and it was one of those things like I did it and I followed the instructions of, like, you know, the series of questions asked, and at the end it pissed me off because they got it right. So I told myself I'm gonna reverse engineer this and figure out how the fuck it's done. So I was able to.
Okay.
Okay. So here's what I need you to do, and everybody listening, I need you to follow my instructions. Okay. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 10. You got it?
Yep.
All right, listeners, you got your number. I want you to multiply that number by 9. You got it? Okay, now that you got it, if it is a double-digit number, I want you to add those 2 numbers together. If it is a single digit, then you're only going to use that 1. Okay? Once you've added those 2 numbers together, I need you to subtract 5. You got it? Good. Now, I need you to associate that number with where it would correspond in the alphabet. So 1 would be A, 2 would be B, 3 would be C, and so on and so forth. All right, I need you to take that number and I need you to think of a country, not a city, not a continent, a country that starts with that letter. You got it?
Hold on. I'm thinking.
Listeners, you got it? Do you got it now? You got it now, Shorty?
Yep.
Take the last letter of that country and think of an animal. Now think of the last letter of that animal and think of a color. And I bet you a lot of you are thinking about orange kangaroos in Denmark. Yep.
So
It is not magical, and I can
not.
break it down for you.
it's not. I know. As I was tracing, as soon as I got to the second part, which you take your number and add it together. Like,
You're always,
every answer is going to come up to 9.
and every answer is going to come up to 4.
Yes.
And there's only 5 countries in this world that start with a D.
Yeah.
Denmark, Dominican Republic, the Democratic Federation of Congo, I believe.
Did you look up all the countries that start with D?
I did, because I could only think of 2.
Oh,
So I thought, and this is me trying to work my way through this of like, all right, well, how did he know I was going to pick Denmark? And then I realized it's because the normal person that knows geography at least a little bit is going to pick Denmark. That's the one you're going to pick. And on the fly, if I say pick an animal that starts with K, you're going to pick kangaroo.
Sure.
All right. So you got an how many people you think know the actual 5 countries?
Right.
All right, so you're probably looking at an 80% chance that Denmark is getting picked.
Yeah.
And then you're probably looking at another 70% chance that a kangaroo's getting picked, right? Because think of another K animal. Koala, capybara. None of those things are going to be picked quickly. You know what I mean?
Unless they are your favorite animal.
Right. So most people are going to think of K.
Which I don't know what
kangaroo.
kind of douchebag thinks fucking koalas are their favorite goddamn animal.
And then, of course, you get to the O of kangaroo. And what other colors starts with an O?
Beats me, dog.
I'm sure they're out there.
Probably.
But orange
Some
is going to
asshole.
be the first color.
Some asshole named it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he fucking mailed it in. He's like, oh, this fruit is an orange. You know, that's what color this is. Mm-hmm. One of the two were lazy as fuck. Either the person that named the fruit orange or the color orange. One of y'all was lazy as a mother.
And I want to say it's the guy who made the colors was lazier than the guy who made the fruit. Because
You
we
think the
have...
fruit came before the color?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. Because like we have oranges, apples, bananas. We have, apricots and all this other stupid shit. And that guy's like, man, that's a yellow. He's like, that's an orange. Like that motherfucker did like, that's a red apple. That's a yellow banana. That's a, a blue blueberry. What? It's a blueberry. It's a berry, but what's it called? A blueberry. All right, what's this one? Fuck.
It's an orange.
It's an orange. No, that's its color. Or no, that he's like, I can't think of any more colors, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I was like, I can't name them all. And then some asshole 1,000 years later is like, oh, this is teal. And you're like, bitch, that's green. And like teal. And some other motherfucker's like, bitch, that's blue. Like, fuck, I hate these people.
It's teal. All right, so that's
teal.
it. That was a cool magic trick, I thought. And it pissed me off because the dude got it right. So, but then I had to reverse engineer it and I figured it out. So anyways, that's all we got for you today. So in the meantime,
In the betweens time.
remember, great minds think alike, but idiots rarely disagree. Cue the music. We out.
No, fuck, I hit the boo.